So, welcome back, people. Welcome back to the channel. Glories to the Most High. Give thanks. Arsenal Football Club 2, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain 0-0. Professional performance from the boys today. Not surprised at all that the lineup unchanged. I think that lineup right there, the second half of the first half against Manchester City, when we started to grow into the game, that was that lineup. Starting to gel, starting to find their rhythm. They look good first half of the Leicester game. One-way traffic. Boys were looking good. And today in the first half, they were looking good as well. You know, this Kai Havertz is starting to shut me up to a point. You know, I'm still not the biggest fan of Kai Havertz, but that goal today, that game today, his overall performance today was impressive. And one thing we're going to do over here at BBK Sports, we're going to give credit when credit is due. He played well today. So I don't think any other player in our lineup scores that goal. Jesus definitely does not score that goal. He doesn't make that run, doesn't stay on side, doesn't have the height. King Kai has the wherewithal to know that he doesn't need to buck this one into the net. He sees Donnarumma coming. He just needs to get a little bit on it to throw him off and put himself in harm's way there too as well. So big up to Shy Havertz, number 29, all the names that people refer to him in the Arsenal fan base. Pretty good performance by our Kai Havertz. 2-0 up. Seems like the strategy was to, hey, okay, we're 2-0 up first half. Second half, PSG, have the ball. Break us down. It was almost like a defensive drill. So I don't know if that was deliberate. You know, we've all heard the cliche defense wins championships. So I don't know how much pressure Mikhail wants to put in his defense to prove that they can withstand the onslaught of a attacking team. And make no mistake about it. Even though PSG doesn't have Ousmane Dembele, they do play attacking football. And they did give it a go. And, you know, kudos to the boys. The boys actually weathered the storm. Could have been more, to be honest. You know, Martinelli could have scored. I think Trossard got another chance in the first half there as well to make it 3-0, but 2-0 on the run of play was probably a fair scoreline. Man of the match is probably a toss-up between Trossard and Havertz. You know, I'll probably lean a little more towards Havertz because of his overall play. Trossard did tire a little bit because he's not used to playing this number 10 role where he roams freely. But I've seen him play there. I've seen him play to the midfield before. I've seen him play in a preseason game when they came to Nuremberg when I lived in Germany. Like seeing him up close on the pitch, playing that left 8, attacking 8 type role. And he played well in it. So, you know, big up to Trossard today with beautiful delivery. If the Odegaard makes that pass, people be out here creaming their pants for it. So, you know, big up to Trossard for his man of the match performance today. As far as our midfield goes, not all was well in the midfield. Overall performance of the team was great, right? No knock on the team. But, however, Declan Rice didn't look particularly great today. I'm going to be completely honest. He didn't look like he was comfortable. He looked kind of off it, to say the least. You know, maybe he'll get back into his groove whenever, you know, Odegaard gets back or whenever we see this Moreno come back and start playing, you know, more of a ball playing role, and he can just break up the play and make, you know, those late in the box runs that we seen him do last year, that we seen him do for 4 or 5 years at West Ham. The Timber, I haven't got any new information on the Timber incident yet, But we did one of the reasons why they were able to come on to us so much in the second half partly has to do with Timber being off and Kiviar being on that full in that fullback role, because he didn't seemed like they were picking on him a bit, and he did look shaky a couple of times. But he grew into the game as the second half went on. So big up to him. I don't think if Ben White was healthy, he would have played. If Ben White is healthy and Timber has to come off, Ben White goes to his position at right back. Calafiore goes to left back. Calafiore, he gets an honorary shot as well. He performed extremely, extremely well today. So that's match day 2. We have 4 points, 2 goals, none conceded. Don't have enough data yet on this new format as to how many points on average you would need to advance in the top 8 to avoid that 2-legged playoff. My guess would be 16 points. Like in most competitions, cup competitions, you win half your games, draw half of them, right? So if we win half our games, 4 games, it's 12 points. Draw half of them, 4 points, brings us to 16. I think that gets us through. Now, in other years to come, 16 points will have you clear in. In other years, 16 points might have you on the cusp of having to play 9 through 16 for, the following 8 spots in the Champions League to move on to the round of 16. But as these games play out, I think we should be able to go through with around 16 to 18 points. 20 points is probably guarantees that you go through, right? Because that would have meant you won 5 or 6 of your games. Right? You win 5 or 6 of your games, you move on to the knockout rounds. We have some other tough fixtures. We still have to go to the San Siro and face Inter. Can't remember the rest of the games out of my head. I know we have Girona away. That could be another tricky fixture. But Shakhtar Donetsk at home, I expect us to win that. I expect us to be in the top 8 comfortably, moving on to the round of 16. It's a good sign when we're able to bring on Jesus, when we're able to bring on a Moreno. We made 3 subs and we still didn't have to bring on Raheem Sterling, who I still think is a quality player. Still think he has a lot to offer the team. He will click. Like whenever Raheem scores or starts scoring, it will give us a whole new dimension of attack. It's just not happening for him yet. But this Moreno substitution kind of saw the story started to break yesterday of pictures emerging of him in training. I didn't believe it. But this Arteta guy, he plays poker in the press conference, because a couple of weeks ago, the way he and the media were going on about this injury, or the way he made the media go on about the injury, you would think dude was going to be out until January or something with a fractured shoulder bone. Like, wow. But to have him make the bench the very first day of October and play. Like, we have seen players sign for Arsenal and have to be wrapped in cotton wool and play behind the scenes games to get their fitness up and all this stuff. And this dude had a broken collarbone, makes the bench and starts today. And he was supposed to be out till mid-November. Like, what happened there? A whole 6-week to the left early recovery? Like, what? What are we doing? So that leads me to believe that he wasn't injured that bad all along. And Arteta was just playing chess with the media, not to show his cards, right? Keeping his cards close to his chest. But that's good, though. And hopefully they're doing the same thing with Odegaard. Hopefully he is not out until late October. Hopefully he is back for the Liverpool game on 27 October, right? Because I want to go into that game full strength so we can play our football. I fully expect us to move to Liverpool. Last year, we completely dominated Liverpool at the Emirates. This year, I expect us to take it up a year and give them an even better game. Right, we're further in our process than Onslaught is in their process. So you add Moreno in that midfield, bring Odegaard back. Calafiori has playing in the Prem like he's played in the Prem before. So I'm thoroughly impressed with that. The Timber injury does concern me though, because him and Calafiori on each wing gives me confidence that they can deal with a Mo Salah. They can deal with a Gakpo or Nunez. But I'm very at ease with our defense. Right now, I'm at the point where I'm actually shocked. I'm disappointed when we concede, because the brick wall of the Gooniverse back there with David Raya and them four have all the confidence in the world. We are a long way from Mustafi and Socrates and Bellerin and Lichtsteiner and we had some, David Luiz and them, man. Hasn't been a very good, defensive past 5-6 years for this football team. But, big up to the boys today for making complete light work out of PSG, albeit without Dembele, albeit post Mbappe. Don't want to hear it. Right? Don't want to hear, they didn't have Dembele, you beat them. Hey, I've seen Tottenham turn up at Old Trafford without their best player and slap Manchester United 3-0. So it is what it is. All right, people. Thank you for your time. Whether you're listening to this in the gym, in your car, going to work, on the playback, make sure you hit a like, drop a comment if you have a question or so. And we will review the rest of the Champions League games tomorrow when the rest of the Reno squad get here. All right, people. Peace, love.
It was only a recess, a hard reset. Razor blade the realest. Even when them have a voice, we still leave them speechless. Razor blade. We said we not follow trends. My got my own ends, make my